This is going to be today's video review for Friday, July 24th for 2015 for DrummondEnergyBands.com. Please read our trading disclaimer. Today we're going to be looking at the weak energy and how to trade it for our trade plan. We'll be looking at challenges to the crest or challenges to the valley. If you're just joining us, we'll be going through those examples and also referring to what is known as our midline, where energy is actually birthed from, and the push from the midline can be very strong. Also, there's some other points worth mentioning. We'll be announcing the upcoming webinar just as soon as the e-commerce is working and functioning for everyone to get proper currency exchanges. The other thing, I'm getting a lot of questions about diamond ownership packages, wanting to extend the purchase out 2 months. In other words, buying the diamond lease for $2,000 or $1,999, and then in 2 months' time, giving the balance. Well, the answer is unfortunately no. At this point, we're offering the diamond ownership of the software and course until the end of August, and for someone that wants to take advantage of that right off the bat, that's fine. Somebody that wants to get just the diamond lease, we're allowing 2 months to evaluate, see if it's right with you, and then of course at that point we'll credit that amount towards the regular price, which is $49.90 US. Also, another point mentioning is we've brought on Trish Nolan as the Director of Client Relations. She's put in place some back office customer client relations systems so that things are not going to be falling through the cracks as we move forward. So let's get on to looking at today's video review. If you're just joining us, today's going to be extra special because of the weekend and it's the end of the week. So Friday here, we're going to look at 17 setups today, and we're going to just go through them very slowly. But first I want to explain what we're going to be looking for with regards to weak energy. You'll notice the chart here on the left with the up green arrow is the same up green arrow here on the right chart. As price puts in a valley right here, as we draw with the horizontal green line, you'll notice the dots stay way above this solid white line we call the midline. And as the bar turns red, pulls back into challenge this valley, on the green bar we can go long. This would be a weak energy condition. And then you'll notice this down arrow on the left chart. It's pulling back to its midline. That's the solid white line here on the left chart. It's drawn here in a white dotted line here. This is also called our power mid trade. You'll notice this crest here is challenge. But look at the dots. The dots are at or below this solid white line. This is weak energy pushing into the crest into a very strong lean of resistance. On this red bar here on the close, we're short at the market. You can see that trade kept us in for quite a while just by staying with the red bricks. And we always look in the upper yellow here to manage a trade short, as we teach in the Masters of the Universe course. Getting down at the bottom here at about 936, we're looking for a potential long out of here. And the reason being is the market is in an exhaust pattern. We teach that also in the course. You'll notice that the dots here are getting below the solid line. So this is strong energy. And we've got to be very, very careful. And this is very typical in an exhaust pattern. But you'll notice the valley here, how the dots, when they press into the support level, this is previous buyers coming in, starts to hook up. And you notice our dot hooks up with the green brick. So we're going to get long there. So we just got long out of an exhaust pattern. Now what does that mean? Well, we teach in the Masters of the Universe course, when we're in an exhaust pattern, price is going to turn here to the left chart, return to this white dotted line for a refresh of energy to push down. So taking trades against that move, in other words fading short, is going to be finding support in our lower magenta along the way until it fulfills the refresh up to the white dotted midline. So I want to draw your attention to the left down arrow, the red arrow. It's the same red arrow here on the right. You'll notice that we have these conditions here where the dots are weak, staying below the mid, staying below the mid. So these red bricks here, one might say, well, why not short them? Well, we just popped above the midline from our left chart. This is the white solid line here. We've just popped above it. The midline is not pushing down. In fact, we're staying above it. So we really don't want to be shorting down into this. See this white dotted line? It's getting below us. Okay, we've rallied above it here. It's telling us that this white dotted line is not pushing down anymore. Okay, so we're thinking we're going to reach this white dotted line up here, but we want to fade the move anyway because we just want to have a lot of trades. So we put in a crest right here on the right chart with the down pink arrow. You notice the dots are weak and the red bar was short. It goes down to where? Goes down to this up green arrow in the lower magenta. That's our energy band. We're expecting that to take place. Dots push down, they're weak, holding at the midline. On the green bar here, we're getting a push of energy, we're long. We want to get short up here because we're looking for more extra trades. There's a crest. These dots are weak below the solid white line. We're short back down to the energy band on the left chart's green up arrow. We're looking at this here. We're seeing the energy come down. It's actually very strong. It's below the line here. So we're not taking that green bar because our conditions of the dots are not above the solid white line. So we missed that trade, even though we think that price is going to return up to this left chart's white dotted line. We have to follow some rules, right? So we get up to this white dotted line finally, and we've got a crest. Look at our dots. Our dots are pushing up into the crest, and they hook over. On the hook over down, we're getting short, and that's the refresh. Price falls on down, of course, and stays down until we reach about 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, price falls down almost to the lower energy band noticed here on the left chart with the green up arrow. We get a crest, or excuse me, a valley, pulls back the challenge. Look at how the dots, they're very weak. Green bar, we're going to get long up into this area here. This area here is at about 10:07. Let's talk about it. Our trader wants to catch every move at the down left red arrow, which is the down right arrow on the right chart here. He's looking for weak energy and he gets a red bar. He wants to short it. He's looking to come back to this valley here. Okay, price doesn't do that. Price goes sideways. This would be a small loss here or a break-even trade. Price rallies on up into this down pink arrow on the left chart into a crest. A crest is a very high probability setup, and we notice that as price pulls down here on our trade chart on the right, we put in a crest. And as we challenge the crest, we maintain weak dots with red bars. We want to be short. Price falls on down, stays red all the way down till about this area here, about 10:30. 10:30, we're in what is called an exhaust pattern. This exhaust pattern suggests we're going to come back to this white dotted line. Should we wait for the refresh to get short? Well, as the trader learns, this is actually what takes place, not to the tick, but within about 2 or 3 ticks. On the way down, the trader decides to look for the bottom. The bottom is put in when you get a valley, and I challenge the valley with weak dots. Green bar, you're long. Lower yellow stays up. Market goes up. Now we're going to look at this particular point right here. As I said, our trader is wanting to catch every move. This left down red arrow is the same down red arrow here on the right chart. You notice the trader looks at the white dotted line and it bounces up and thinks, well, on this red brick here, we've got weak dots. Let's take a shot short. And you'll notice that the upper energy band, the dots don't hook. You know, they're going flat. They don't hook down like they hook down here. And there's no overlap. You know, the upper energy band doesn't overlap the yellow like it does here and here. But he takes the short anyway, and as price goes down, it comes back up against him. This upper lower yellow is not down. It's a small loss there for him if that trader took that trade. Now price falls back down here to the left green up arrow, and the trader's starting to realize that this white dotted line here that I'm pointing to with the green up arrow on the right chart is actually pushing up still. So with a weak challenge of dots into this valley of support on the green bar, we're going long. Trader runs up into this top here. This is where the down pink arrow is on the left chart, pink arrow on the right chart. This is an area in which you can see weak dots pressing up into the crest. This is another way to short the trade back down. Now you notice this move down to the left chart, green up arrow, right chart, green up arrow. Very strong energy. So the trader is not buying against that energy. So he misses this move. Price goes on up, and we are very, very close to refreshing the energy on this chart frame. So he's very interested in looking at the crest that developed here. The dots stay weak. Bar goes red here on close. Upper yellow is short. This is a very strong level of resistance. A half decent short there takes us down. At this point we are down into, let's see here, 11:15, 11:16 here. This is this point right here on our left chart. Now you'll notice that on this chart we don't have a valley to be weak into to buy. This is our valley right here. You notice the dots start to go weak here. They pull up. This one here, the dots are a little below and they start to pull up. It's an indication that the dot energy is starting to wane on the way down here. Nonetheless, our trader doesn't take that trade. It didn't set up just absolutely perfectly. One last trade here back to the midline on the left chart, drawn here on the right chart. Perfect challenge into the crest, weak dots, red bar, he's short. Goes down. These are great targets. If you have any questions, please send us an email at jb@drummondenergybands.com. Thank you for listening. I hope you had a great week, and all the best.